Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen. Glory be to Jesus Christ. Today is October 1st, and one of the things we do today is we celebrate the protecting veil of the Mother of God. St. Nikolai Velimirovich wrote about maybe 70 or 80, 90 years ago about this in his prologue. He's called the Serbian Chrysostom because he's so has such a beautiful way of expressing things, and I really cannot put it into words, so I'm going to read it to you, what this is about. From time immemorial, the Church has celebrated the Most Holy Theotokos as the patroness and protectress of the Christian people, who, by her intercessory prayers, implores God's mercy for us sinners. The help of the Most Holy Mother of God has been clearly shown numerous times to individuals and to nations, in peace and in war, in monastic deserts and densely populated cities. The event that the Church commemorates and celebrates today confirms the Theotokos' consistent protection of all Christian peoples. On the 1st of October, in the year 911, during the reign of Emperor Leo the Wise, there was an all-night vigil in the Blacherna Church in the Mother of God in Constantinople. And might I add, at this time, Constantinople was besieged by the Scythians. And so they're asking for her protection. The church was full of people. St. Andrew the Fool for Christ was standing in the rear of the church with the disciple Epiphanius. At 4 o'clock in the morning, the Most Holy Theotokos appeared above the people, holding her amaphorion, her veil, outstretched as a protecting covering for the faithful. She was clothed in gold, encrusted purple, and shone with an ineffable radiance, surrounded by the apostles, saints, martyrs, and virgins. St. Andrew said to Blessed Epiphanius, "Do you see, brother, the Queen and Lady of all praying for the whole world?" Epiphanius replied, "I see, Father, and I am struck with amazement." The Feast of the Protection was instituted to commemorate this very event, and to remind us that we can prayerfully receive unceasing protection of the Most Holy Theotokos in any time of difficulty. And as it happened, because of those prayers, the siege of the Scythians was lifted and Constantinople was saved. The irony is, the Scythians are Slavic people, and they were barbarians at the time and pagans. Now, in modern Orthodox Church usage, it is the Slavic churches, the Ukrainians, the Russians, the Serbs, who do this particular feast with a lot of gusto. The Greeks, not so much. And it was the Byzantines and the Greeks who benefited from this very historical event. So there's a turnaround in things. Likewise, the Church of Ukraine has the most parishes dedicated to the protection of the Mother of God. They're the most faithful to it. They say that after Pascha and Christmas, to the Ukrainian people, this is one of the most greatest things. Now, the Greeks also have another protecting virgin protection feast they celebrate in October, and sometimes they do it instead of this one. It's called Arche Day. Arche means no in Greek. And what it is it also commemorates a historical event in which in 1943, Benito Mussolini gave the Greek Prime Minister an ultimatum, because we're going to take over Greece, and who's scared of the Italian army? But when you got a bunch of Germans behind them, you're scared. And his reply was, no, Arche. We'd rather give ourselves under the protection of the Theotokos than be under the thumb of the Italians and the Nazis. And so it's more of a national holiday for the Greeks on October 28th. But nevertheless, and also too, likewise, and I got more reading to do, today is also the feast day of St. Romanos the Melodist, who is the patron saint of church musicians. He is the saint who invented the type of hymn now that we call the Kontakion, the second hymn to each saint or feast. And he composed many, many, many hymns in his lifetime. He lived a long, long time ago, but it's also St. Romanos the Melodist is commemorated today. So Archbishop Michael has issued a short letter, only one page, making note of this today as St. Romanos the Melodist Day. And normally I just post this on a bulletin board, but I think truth be told, this needs to be read aloud to you, the faithful, to give a little pat on the back to our choir. Okay? Dearly beloved in the Lord, Christ is in our midst. The Diocese of New York and New Jersey will mark Church Musician Appreciation Day on Sunday, October 1st, on the feast day of Romanus the Melodist. I strongly encourage rectors, parish councils, and choir leaders to offer special thanks to their church musicians. Let us never take for granted the vital relationship between the rector and the choir director, the prayerful connection between the liturgical celebrants and the choir, and the soul-enriching ministry of our church musicians, which uplifts and inspires all those gathered in the divine services. With this in mind, I encourage you to take appropriate action to recognize your church musicians, and he is attaching a certificate of church recognition. You don't have a certificate, do you, for your refrigerator? No, I don't think so. All right. For you, and present those marking 25 years or more in the music program. That's all of us. I direct the following petitions to be offered, and then there's petitions for you that I forgot, but the Lord hears our prayers. Please also see remarks from Metropolitan. This is more like a memo than an encyclical. Anyhow, signed Archbishop Michael, recognizing your service too. So thank you very much to our choir directors and our singers, because you have to know all the order of the services. You have to be able to read. You know, if a different priest comes in, you got to sort of adjust, make things run smoothly. I think that the choir director is kind of like when you go to a three-ring circus, the guy with the top hat, the announcer, keeps everything in order. You know what I mean? That's the choir director. There's got this going on over there, this going on over there, but he's keeping it all going smoothly. And that's why we appreciate the choir directors today. So God bless our choir directors, and may the Mother of God continue to pray and guide us as we continue in our Christian journey. Amen. Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory.